It's Dr. Casey Jones, and we're going to talk about how we do the light breathing, so the different methods to do it. But just as a reminder as to why we're doing it, we're trying to build up our tolerance to carbon dioxide buildup, because that is what drives our urge to breathe and makes us feel like we have to take a breath, because it changes the chemistry of our blood. We need carbon dioxide in order to replace the oxygen that's being carried in our blood and let it go and let the tissues use it. So we don't want to be blowing off all of it off. But as we hold our breath, sometimes that builds up into our blood and makes us feel like we have to breathe. So what I want you to do is first practice just noticing how you're breathing. And you're going to place your finger under your nose, and you're going to notice the slightly colder air as it enters your nose and the slightly warmer air as it leaves your nose. Slightly colder air, I got my crazy son watching me, and warmer air as it exits. It's going to be a little moist and humidified. And just imagine this is a feather, and see if you can breathe a little bit more lightly, like maybe 10% less air. And notice if that changes it. Notice if that changes, then so maybe it doesn't feel as moist or as humidified. Close your eyes. If this were a feather, imagine that you're not moving any of the plumes of the feather. You're breathing so lightly that no one even would be able to tell that you are breathing. Certainly you can't hear the breathing. Continue this for as long as you like. If this is your favorite, keep doing it. Set that timer for 2 to 5 minutes, but know you're always in control. And if you need to stop and reset, take a few breaths. If you feel too much of an air hunger, you are always in control. What I want you to do next is take your hands and cup them over your nose and mouth, kind of like a paper bag. So when we're over breathing, that means we're breathing in excess of our metabolic needs. So we just need to help to regulate that. So by putting our hands over this, we're trapping some of that carbon dioxide. We are taking in less air. So try putting it over your mouth, nose and mouth like this. You have holes in your fingers, so you certainly can breathe plenty of air, but just gently breathe in and out and see how that makes you feel. And again, if this is your favorite, just continue. You can choose one of these. You don't have to do all of them, but if you want to do all of them, that's okay too. Next one you're going to do is take one finger and plug a nostril. I don't care which one at this point. Then you're going to try to breathe in the same way through that single nostril. If you can imagine, now you've cut everything in half. So you are breathing, you have the opportunity to breathe in half as much air because there's a hole that's just one of the two, right? So you are going to breathe gently, silently through that nostril and stay calm. See if you can continue the pace, the amount of air that you're breathing in, so it doesn't turn into, see if you can just gently breathe in and out. And if this is your favorite one, go ahead and keep doing this. And again, set that timer. And again, if you start to feel too stressed, pushing that envelope a little bit is good, but we want to train our bodies, not teach it to be anxious around doing these sort of things. So if you need to stop and reset, try again. The last one I want you to do is take your hands, put them on the sides of your ribs here, similar to thinking of your diaphragm, right? So right at the ribs where things are going to expand like jellyfish. So just see if you can do the same sort of light breathing, but feel the air actually come into your ribs. So it's expanding and contracting. A lot of people talk about belly breathing versus chest breathing, but it's a little bit more complicated in that we breathe into our ribs expanding this way. The air can come forward, it can come into our back, and there's so many different ways to go about that. So just continue to breathe. And again, pick your favorite, but as you're doing this, just think of breathing a little less air. So if that starts at 5%, great. If that starts at 10%, great. If that's even less, great. And as you do it, try to stay calm, try to stay relaxed, take breaks when you need to. Give it a try. Have a great day, and don't forget to smile and dance. Look for the blessings, and I promise you'll see them.